Ancient universities in India. The ancient Nalanda University. Nalanda is an ancient center of higher learning in Bihar from 427 to 1197. Nalanda was established in the 5th century AD in Bihar, founded in 427, not far from what is today the southern border of Nepal. It survived till 1197. It was devoted to Buddhist studies, but it was also training students in fine arts, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, politics, and art of war. The center had 8 separate compounds, 10 temples, meditation halls, classrooms, lakes, and parks. It had a 9-story library where monks meticulously copied books and documents so that individual scholars could have their own collections. It had dormitories for students, perhaps a first for the educational institution, housing 10,000 students in the university's heyday and providing accommodations for 2,000 professors. The Nalanda University attracted pupils and scholars from Korea, Japan, China, Tibet, Indonesia, Persia, and Turkey. A half-hour bus ride from Rajgir is Nalanda, the site of the world's first university. Nalanda was the world's first university. Although the site was a pilgrimage destination from the 1st century AD, it had links with the Buddha, as he often came here, and 2 of his chief disciples, Sariputra and Moggallana, came from this area. The large stupa is known as Sariputra Stupa, marking the spot not only where his relics are entombed, but where he was supposedly born. The site has a number of small monasteries where the monks lived and studied. Many of them were rebuilt over the centuries. We are told that one of the cells belonged to Naropa, who was instrumental in bringing Buddhism to Tibet, along with such Nalanda luminaries as Shanti Rakshita and Padma Sambhava. A small opening in the cell revealed a tiny room where Naropa supposedly meditated. Nalanda's main importance comes from its Buddhist roots as a center of learning. Huinsang, the famous pilgrim from China, came here and studied and taught for 5 years in the 7th century. Huinsang studied and taught for 5 years in the 7th century AD. Nalanda University at the time had over 10,000 students and 3,000 teachers. For some 700 years between the 5th and 12th centuries, Nalanda was the center of scholarship and Buddhist studies in the ancient world. A great fire wiped out the library of over 9 million manuscripts. Just imagine, 9 million, 90 lakh manuscripts. And at the beginning of the 12th century, the Muslim invader Bakhtiyar Khilji sacked the university. It was in the 1860s that the great archaeologist Alexander Cunningham identified the site as the Nalanda University, and in 1915-16 the Archaeological Survey of India began excavations of the site. What has been excavated to date is only a small part of the entire site, but much of the ruins are beneath existing villages and are unlikely to be revealed. The present site is well maintained and very pleasant to visit. Across the street is a small museum with some excellent Buddhist statues, and about a kilometer away is a temple dedicated to Huinsang. Nearby are the International Center for Buddhist Studies and Navanalanda Mahi Vihara, set up for the research of Buddhism. So what has been excavated till date is only a very minuscule part of the entire site. So now you can see the ruins there if we go there. And the ancient Takshashila University. Takshashila was an early Buddhist center of learning. According to available references, it is dated back to at least 5th century BC. Some scholars date it back to 6th century BC. Takshashila is described in some detail in Jataka tales also. Around the 5th century AD, that is where the Jataka tales were written. It became a noted center of learning at least several centuries before Christ and continued to attract students until the destruction of the city in 5th century AD. Takshashila is perhaps best known because of its association with Chanakya, Takshashila. The famous treatise Arthashastra, the knowledge of economics, by Chanakya is said to have been composed in Takshashila itself. Kautilya or Chanakya, the Mauryan Emperor Chandragupta, and the Ayurvedic healer Charaka studied at Takshashila. Generally, a student entered Takshashila at the age of 16. The Vedas in the 18 arts, which included archery, hunting, elephant roar, were taught in addition to its law school, medical school, and school of military science. The ruins of Takshashila contain buildings and Buddhist stupas located over a large area. The main ruins of Takshashila are divided into 3 major cities, each belong to a distinct time period. The oldest of these is Hathial area, which yielded surface shards similar to burnished redwares recovered from early phases of Charsadda and may date between 6th century BC and the late 2nd millennium BC. Bhir Mound dates from 6th century BC. The second city of Takshashila is located in Sirkap, Sirkap, and was built by Greco-Bactrian kings in the 2nd century BC. The third and last city of Takshashila is Sirsuk and relates to the Kushan kings. In addition to the ruins of the city, a number of Buddhist monasteries and stupas also belong to the Takshashila area. Some of the important ruins of this category include the ruins of the stupa at Dharmarajika, the monastery at Jaulian, the monastery at Mohra Muradu, in addition to the number of stupas. Legend has it that Taksha, an ancient king who ruled a kingdom called Takshakhanda, the modern Tashkent, founded the city of Takshashila. However, Sanskrit Takshashila appears to contain the suffix Shila, stone, with the prefix Taksha, alluding to Taksha, the son of Bharata and Mandavi, as related in Ramayana. Bharata's son was Taksha, and Bharata's wife was Mandavi in Ramayana. So in the Mahabharata, again, the Kuru heir Parikshit was enthroned at Takshashila. According to tradition, the Mahabharata was first recited at Takshashila by Vaishampayana, a disciple of Vyasa at the behest of the seer Vyasa himself, at the Sarpasatra Yajna, the snake sacrifice ceremony of Parikshit's son Janmejaya. According to one theory propounded by Damodar Dharmand Koshambi, Takshashila is related to Takshaka, carpenter, and is an alternative name for the Nagas of ancient India. According to scattered references which were fixed a millennium later, it may be dated back to at least 5th century BC. There is some disagreement about whether Takshashila can be considered a university. While some consider Takshashila to be an early university or center of higher education, others do not consider it a university in the modern sense, in contrast to the later Nalanda University. Takshashila is described in some detail in Jataka tales written in Sri Lanka around 5th century CE. Takshashila is considered a place of religious and historical sanctity by Hindus and Buddhists. The former do so not only because in its time Takshashila was the seat of Vedic learning, but also because the strategist Chanakya, the great thinker and philosopher, and the true Indian visionary, who later helped consolidate the empire of Emperor Chandragupta Maurya, was a senior teacher here. The institution is very significant in Buddhist tradition since it is believed that Mahayana sect of Buddhism took shape here. Some scholars date Takshashila's existence back to the 6th century BCE. It became a noted center of learning at least several centuries BCE before and continued to attract students from around the world until the destruction of the city in 5th century CE. Other universities that existed in India, one in Bihar is Odantapuri, circa 550 to 1040. Somapura in Bangladesh from the Gupta period till the Muslim conquest. Jagaddala in Bengal from the Pala period till the Muslim conquest. Nagarjuna Konda in Andhra Pradesh. Vikramashila in Bihar. Vikramashila is 800 to 1040. Sharada Peeth in modern day Kashmir. Vallabhi in Gujarat from the Maitreya period to the till the Arab raids. Varanasi 8th century to modern times. Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu. Manyakheta, Karnataka. Pushpagiri in Orissa. Ratnagiri in Orissa. And in Sri Lanka, Sunetra Devi Pirivena, a center of Buddhist learning in Sri Lanka, founded circa 1450. So if you see, the list is Odantapuri, Bihar 550, Somapura, Bangladesh, Jagaddala, Bengal, Nagarjuna Konda, Andhra Pradesh, Vikramashila, Bihar, Sharada Peeth, Kashmir, Vallabhi, Gujarat, Varanasi, and Kanchipuram, Manyakheta in Karnataka, Pushpagiri, Orissa, Ratnagiri, Orissa, and Sunetra Devi, Pirivena. So these were all ancient universities in India. Takshashila flourished between 600 BC to 500 AD in the kingdom of Gandhar, ancient India, but now in Pakistan. 68 subjects were taught, including Vedas, grammar, philosophy, astronomy, medicine, surgery, politics, archery, warfare, music, commerce, and minimum entry age was 16. 10,500 students roughly studied there from China, Babylon, Syria, Greece, Persia, Turkey, all over. So Takshashila is actually the oldest, though some people don't want to call it a university. Seriously, Takshashila is the most ancient one. Chanakya was a teacher there. Nalanda University from 500 AD to 1300 AD. It was destroyed by Bhaktiar Khilji. Nalanda University had 300 lecture halls, laboratories, libraries, observatories. Chinese travelers recorded that 10,000 students were taught by 200 professors in Nalanda. It was founded during the Gupta age. Legend has it that Takshashila derived its name from Taksha, who was the son of Bharata, the brother of Rama in Ramayana. When Alexander the Great came to Takshashila in India in the 4th century BC, he found a university, and something like that was he had never seen in his life. It was not there. Such a thing was not there in Greece. A university which taught the 3 Vedas and 18 accomplishments and was still existing when the Chinese pilgrim Fayan went there about 400 AD. Taksha, Bharata's son, his kingdom was called Takshakanda, and its capital was Takshashila. In the Mahabharata, the Parikshit was enthroned at Takshashila. The grandson of Arjuna, Parikshit, was coronated at Takshashila, and it's believed that Mahabharata was first recited at Takshashila by Vaishampayana at the snake sacrifice. Takshashila, some say, was established in 700 BC, and it's about 50 kilometers west of Rawalpindi in Pakistan. 50 kilometers west of Rawalpindi in Pakistan. In the Vayu Purana, Takshashila is traced to Taksha, the son of Bharata, even in the Ramayana. And Takshashila is mentioned in the Mahabharata, citing Dhaumya as one of the acharyas. Panini, the famous Sanskrit grammarian, Chanakya, Charaka, and Chandragupta Maurya were products of this university. It gained importance during the reign of Kanishka. The Ardhashastra by Chanakya was composed in Takshashila itself. For 800 years, Takshashila was operational. Takshashila was severely damaged by the Hephthalite invasions during the 7th century, and it was gradually abandoned by its inhabitants. So, Hephtalites in Sanskrit were known as Sweta Huna, white Huns. The Hunas were initially defeated by Emperor Skandagupta of the Gupta Empire, but by the end of the 5th century, the Hunas had overrun the part of the Gupta Empire that was to their southeast and had conquered central and north India. Emperor Bhanugupta of the Guptas defeated the Hunas under Toramana in 510. The Hunas were driven out of India by the kings Yashodharma and Narsimhagupta during the early 6th century. There are several theories regarding the origin of the White Huns, with the Iranian and the Turkish theories being the most prominent.